How you doing, guys? You good?
Tiny Tempo. Good morning from
How you
Australia.
doing,
How
man?
are you, man? It's Isaac Henry
I'm
here.
good. I'm good. I'm good. Good morning, man.
Good morning. Great to see you. I'm going to jump straight into it if you don't mind. I've got a bunch of
Let's
questions for you.
go. Yeah, let's go for it, brother. Let's go for it.
You've done the chart toppers, you've done the fashion weeks, you've done the business moves, but I want to start with the foundation rather than the headline stuff. And I always like to use the Jenga tower analogy. Who's the one block with a name on it that if you were to pull it out, the whole thing falls over? Who's the you in your life?
That's a great question. What, as in a individual person?
Yes.
I'm gonna say my mum. I'm gonna say my mum. Let's throw her in it
Yeah.
because ultimately, without her and my dad, obviously, I wouldn't be here. So, the whole thing would fall apart immediately. But also, yeah, she displayed like a certain level of vim and determination and, great ambition in her life, and continues to do so. I've just seen her go from strength to strength after immigrating from Nigeria in the late 80s, a couple years before she had me in the UK and the rest of my siblings. I saw us move from like low socio-economical housing, council estates, blocks, get the hood, if you will, to a more sort of semi-detached environment. I saw her, aspire to have things like cars and to be able to travel and live a certain lifestyle. So, yeah, she's definitely someone instrumental in my life. And, she's to this day one of my biggest supporters outside of my kids. So
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, I'd say her.
Beautiful, man. I want to go back to that classroom for a second, if you don't mind. You're flipping through a thesaurus, you're looking for anger words, and you land on temper. Do be
Yeah.
honest here. Have you ever met another artist who admitted they also stole their name out of a book at school?
No, I
No.
think so far as I'm aware, I'm the only one.
Wow.
I'm the only one. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I was definitely inspired by the likes of Dizzy Rascal and Tinchy Stryder and those kind of guys. So I knew that I kind of wanted like a kind of like almost like a double barrel name without the hyphen. Um, but yeah, I wanted to find another name for angry, and I guess for me, that's kind of the energy. I wouldn't say it's angry energy, but that sort of represents the energy when I'm on the stage. Whereas, the tiny aspect of it is kind of when I'm off the stage, I'm a very chilled out, relaxed person. So it's almost like Jekyll and Hyde, if you will. Do you get what I mean? Two different characters in one person.
Sure. Do you ever use your real name to order food just to avoid the whole, wait, are you actually Tiny Temper thing when you're starving?
You know what, guys? I use my real name more than you know, man.
Really?
Especially as the days go on. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like for certain emails, now I do, now I've got school runs and I've got to talk to teachers all the time about my kids and whatnot. I don't think it's cool coming from a tiny temper email, man. We've
Yeah.
got to keep it to Patrick.
Your latest release is called Energy, dude. I played it this morning to get out of bed, and oh my gosh, it's such a banger.
Yeah, it probably jolted you out of bed, and if
Yeah,
it did,
I
then
did.
yeah, then job done. Even from the riser that you can hear from the very beginning,
Yeah,
ooh, and then the
totally.
snare comes in, do, 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 and then that big,
Mm.
sort of almost classic house vocal. But yeah, man, Energy's been getting a lot of love. I really enjoyed performing it, even though it was very new at the time, still very new now, but enjoyed performing it during my time in Australia, across Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. And Perth as well for Friday's live. And yeah, the song just feels like it's got legs, man. And more importantly, it feels like it makes people feel good. It makes people want to move. It makes people want to sort of, feel elated and euphoric. And yeah, for me, that's ticking a load of boxes, man.
Yeah, totally agree. But I'm curious, in your own life, what's the difference between a night with a good energy and a night that just gets messy?
Great question. I think, when people think of nightlife and people think of going out, um, especially generations above mine or your generation, people tend to have negative connotations about it, like it's always going to end up messy, there's going to be a fight, or someone's going to overdo it and get too intoxicated and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like I was kind of saying, with the energy of energy, ultimately for me it's a space where people of all different walks of life, different backgrounds, different races can come together and enjoy music, which is ultimately the soundtrack to life. So, For me, that is the epitome of a good night, going and seeing a whole bunch of, nice, friendly faces, people smiling, people enjoying themselves with their groups of friends, intermixing with other groups, maybe making friends for that moment or potential friends for life, celebrating records that, artists have spent hours on end in the studio, creating and collaborating with others, in order to achieve it. I guess a night that gets messy is, yeah, I mean, if every once in a while there can be someone that ruins the mood, or maybe overdoes it. I guess, do you get what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's like life in general. Do you get what I mean? And that could be any scenario, whether you're watching Aussie Rules, do you know what I mean? Whether you're watching the rugby, whether
Absolutely.
you're do you get what I mean? At a comedy event, someone could lose it and start heckling the comedian, so I guess that's just human nature to a certain degree.
Yeah, totally get you, man. You talk about no bad vibes in my orbit and sort of kicking out the people who only like fame and celebrities. So, how different is the circle you party with now compared to your first big breakthrough years?
You know what's funny, actually? The circle has pretty much remained the same, and it's primarily sort of family, extended family, and kind of close friends or close colleagues. And when I say colleagues, I mean people I've been working with within the music industry for the last decade plus. However, when I first broke through, and you're that new, exciting 21-year-old kid, as there are many, now who are super exciting. You do get loads of kind of people that appear out of the woodworks from nowhere, whether they're, people from the distant past that haven't been in touch with you up until that point, whether they're sort of new friends or new acquaintances and associates that are around for those exact reasons that you said. But I think as I've always had a level of discernment and I've always been able to kind of see that for what it is. Um, and so as those people have kind of come and gone, and maybe some have come back again and gone, and maybe some people have come back again, and maybe there's some new people, the inner circle has always remained the same. And I'm really proud of that. Do you get what I mean? Really proud of that.
Absolutely. Everyone talks about hits. Every time I'm making a party playlist because I'm always in charge of it. I've always
Yeah,
got to have three songs of yours. Girls Like, Pass Out, Written in the Stars. They're a must.
love it.
But
Love it. Thank you very much, man.
of course, man. But which one of your songs do you think didn't get enough love or you kind of wish got more attention?
Um, I mean, considering that I've done 3 albums now, currently working on a new project and loads of mixtapes in between. I think there's quite a few, man. I've got a song called Like It or Love It, and
Yep.
it's got Wretch 3 2 on it and J. Cole. And I feel like people really kind of like, obviously, it was on a mixtape, and unfortunately, it's not currently on streaming services, but we're working on it, or the streaming platforms rather. But we're working on that. But yeah, I would say Like It or Love It is definitely an underrated hidden gem. So if you can find that online somewhere, definitely take some
Yeah.
time out and give that one a listen. You'll love it.
After this interview, I'm going to be scrolling through the net trying to find it.
Yeah, you should, man.
I feel like Illusion off Discovery. That's also a real banger.
Yeah, definitely. Illusion is phenomenal. And
Yeah.
obviously we had our guy from Empire of the Sun on it as well, Aussie native.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I think Illusion is a wonderful kind of introspective track, and kind of, takes kind of people into my life a little bit more. So for those Discovery fans, they'll know exactly what we're talking about. But yeah, anyone that's kind of new to the game or a little bit more recent to what I've been doing, definitely check that record out as well.
100%. You mentioned before you recently came down under for Friday's Live. You shared the bill with some pretty big names, Mariah Carey, Pitbull, Wiz Khalifa. I mean, that lineup just screams pure 2000s, 2010s throwback. And I know you only
Absolutely.
had about 30 minutes on stage. How tough was it to decide which songs had to stay and which had to go?
I think you're absolutely right. There's some huge names. Like I was honored to be asked to be part of that lineup, and actually honored to be considered someone who was kind of who had defined that kind of time and era, because I think obviously where we're at now, there's so much exciting music, and I feel I'm also contributing to that. But I think, pre-pandemic, people sort of hark back to a kind of like nicer, more fun time in the world, just kind of overall. Um, but yeah, for me, the shorter the set, the better, because it just means more pressure for everybody else. Do you get
Right.
what I mean? We've got so many hits, and so it means that there's no room for any potential filler. And so it's literally just energy, 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 excuse the pun, within the new track. But yeah, just nothing but pure energy, pure hits, pure anthems. And I definitely felt the love in Australia, man. It was so refreshing and exciting to see, fans from far and wide, and maybe even other artist fans as well, singing choruses, verses back. I haven't been in Australia for for not such a long time, but for a while. And so yeah, that was really amazing to see. So yeah, for me, I'm happy to go for an hour and a half, but the shorter the set, mate, you're just causing problems for other people.
Yeah, we love you down here, man.
I love you guys too, man, more than you know.
You are performing this weekend at Jingle Bell Ball in the UK with one of the acts
Yeah.
being our very own Kylie Minogue. I know you two go way back to 2011. She presented you with solo artist at the GQ Men of the Year Awards. How does it
Yes,
feel
indeed.
to perform together all these years later?
Do you know what? The amazing thing about Kylie is that she's one of the artists, the top three artists who, really understands reinvention. And, she knows how to, keep it fresh. And every 5 or 10 years, you'll see Kylie again looking great as ever with a new sound. And it hits. Do you get what I mean? It
Yeah.
hits. She can't really do wrong. So I think where I'm at in my career, I'm definitely thinking about legacy and longevity. And I haven't seen Kylie for a long time, but the love is very much still there and very real. And so I think this is almost going to be like a full circle moment because she's back with new music. People are very excited about it. Um, and yeah, I definitely think not just myself, but loads of artists can learn a thing or two about Kylie. She's almost like a little pocket rocket, like a 22, secret weapon. That you can never ever write off in a weird way. Um, and so yeah, it's going to be amazing to reconnect with her. It's going to be amazing to watch her do her thing, decade on decade.
Does Tiny Temper have a favorite Kylie Minogue song?
I'm going to be cliche and just say, can't get you out of my head
Oh, banger.
because yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think someone soon is going to bring that back. There's going to be, like a 18-year-old female artist that's going to like put a spin on that and it's going to go crazy again without a doubt.
Yeah, sure thing. Tiny, it's been an absolute honor speaking with you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. Australia loves you, and we can't wait to have you down under, hopefully again soon. Go on the O2, mate. Thank you again for your time.
I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you, brother.